The Indian Air Force's stealth fighter jet, the AMCA, will have an Indo-French engine that's made in India. This as New Delhi is eyeing another high-stakes deal with France's Safran group for the co-development of a fighter jet engine. The project that may approximately have a budget of 61,000 crore rupees. The engines will power India's fifth-generation stealth aircraft, the AMCA, according to reports. So is France gradually replacing Russia as India's most trusted strategic defense partner? Earlier this year, both countries had also signed an intergovernmental agreement in April 2025 for the procurement of 26 Rafale fighter jets for the Indian Navy's aircraft carrier, the INS Vikrant. The new project aims to develop and manufacture next-generation jet engines for Indian fighter jets, marking a monumental shift in the country's defense and aerospace manufacturing capabilities. The deal is expected to bolster India's defense readiness and expand its aerospace industry. It is also a significant step towards self-reliance in aviation sector, as India is currently entirely dependent on foreign countries for fighter jet engines. The Economic Times reports that the Indian Ministry of Defense has proposed joint collaboration with France to develop a 120 kilonewton jet engine for future fighter jets, including the AMCA, that is more powerful than the GE F414. This project could cost up to 61,000 crore rupees, which is around $7.2 billion. This will be one of India's largest defense deals to date. The decision to team up with France came after thorough discussions with potential stakeholders and technical committee. The Ministry of Defense reportedly received proposals from two companies, one of them being France's Safran and the other is UK's Rolls-Royce. Both have offered to co-develop fighter jet engine for India. However, after careful review, the Indian Ministry of Defense decided to go forward with France's Safran. Now, Safran has committed to full technology transfer and to cater to development plan that matches AMCA's development timeframe. The collaboration between Indian government and Safran is designed to manufacture state-of-the-art jet engines to power both the Indian Air Force's fighter jets as well as the country's soaring commercial aviation sector. The engine is intended to serve as a critical component for future fleet of Indian-made fighter jets under development, particularly the Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft or the AMCA, which is India's first ever stealth fighter jet. AMCA is expected to become one of the most advanced fighter jets in the Indian defense arsenal. India's decision to recommend Safran is seen as a carefully calculated move. The French company, known for its expertise in manufacturing high-performance engines for both military and civilian aircraft, has partnered with the Indian government on several defense projects in the past. This deal will further cement India's relations with France, a country that has been a key supplier of military technology to India, including the Rafale fighter jets. France has been among India's oldest and most reliable defense partners. The defense collaboration began soon after India's independence. In the 1950s, India purchased the Ouragan or the Tufani fighter jets from France's Dassault Aviation, followed by extensive use of Mistre aircraft in wars with Pakistan in 1965 and 1971. The partnership deepened further as India acquired the Jaguar jets in the late 1970s and then the Mirage 2000 fighter jets in the 1980s, which played a key role in the 2019 Balakot airstrikes inside Pakistan. The defense relationship reached a new dimension altogether with the 2016 deal for 36 Rafale jets for the Indian Air Force, followed in 2025 by an agreement for 26 Rafale marine fighter jets for India's aircraft carrier. In total, the Indian Air Force has operated 5 types of French fighter jets. Naval cooperation between France and India is also rather significant. The Project 75 program led to India building 6 Calvary-class Scorpene submarines with French technology. France also supplied Chetak helicopters to India, and the co-development of Shakti engine by France's Safran Group and HAL powers several Indian helicopters. Between 2020 and 2024, France had become India's second largest defense supplier with a 33% share, rapidly closing the gap with Russia at 36% share. Over the last 15 years, France's share in India's arms imports rose from 0.9% to 33%, while Russia's share dropped from 72% to 36%. Currently, India is the leading destination for French arms exports, accounting to 28% from the year 2020 to 2024. So if the two countries finalize a joint fighter jet engine development deal, this would further cement France's position as a top defense partner and deepen the strategic ties between New Delhi and Paris. The proposed India-France fighter jet engine deal of 2025 centered on the co-development of a 120 kilonewton next-generation engine with France's Safran faces several significant challenges and limitations as well. Developing such an advanced engine is an extremely complex technological task, as only a handful of countries and companies have mastered the science of fighter jet engine design. India's own attempts with the Kaveri engine, a project that was initiated by DRDO in the late 1980s, have already demonstrated the magnitude of the challenge. The Kaveri engine project was the first initiative taken up by India without any foreign collaborators. Now, France's Safran has offered full technology transfer to India to successfully deliver the project. However, actually receiving complete access to critical technologies such as turbine blade materials, high-temperature coatings, and advanced manufacturing techniques, the two countries will have to negotiate intellectual property restrictions as well as national security concerns, reports the Eurasian Times. In addition to this, India currently lacks a robust industrial ecosystem for large-scale production of such high-end fighter jet engines. It will require substantial investment in infrastructure, skilled manpower, precision tooling, and testing facilities as well. Even after the completion and success of the project, it is unlikely that the engine will be ready in time for the early production stages of the AMCA. This means that the initial variants of the aircraft will still rely on imported GE F414 engines from the United States, which are also being used on the Tejas Mark IIs. Therefore, India will still have to rely on the United States till then. Furthermore, large research and development programs like this are inherently at risk of delays and cost overruns, as this is one of India's most ambitious defense development efforts to date. Lastly, while this deal represents a strategic move to reduce dependency on traditional suppliers like Russia or the United States, it introduces a new dependency on French support and cooperation, which could be impacted by future geopolitical shifts. Therefore, while agreement holds immense promise for India's defense, self-reliance and aerospace innovation, its success depends on overcoming substantial technological, industrial, strategic, as well as potential unseen geopolitical hurdles. But what do you believe? Is India right to pick France's Safran as engine partner over the likes of Rolls-Royce and American GE Aerospace? Leave a comment with your opinion, hit the like button and subscribe to Inconnect News.